maxproud channel. How you doing? It's been a little while. This is sort of a special video. It's a revisiting video, but it's also a thank you type video. I recently noticed, going through some of the videos I've done on the maxproud channel, that a little while ago I reached 10,000 views on one of my videos. The one talking about the Ibanez GSR-200 and the GSR-205 basses, the 4 and 5 string versions of these basses respectively. It hit 10,000, well over 10,878 and counting as far as views, and 109 comments. And first I want to say thank you. That's a beautiful thing, my first 10,000 videos. I appreciate you guys hitting me up and taking care to listen to my reviews. I mean, it's just my opinion, and I hope that you like it. I really I've got like 54 likes on this review. No negatives, no no's, no zero, responses. And I appreciate it, man. It really feels good to finally get to 10,000. Going into this, I wanted to maybe run down some of the things of why this bass seems to be so popular with so many people. I have here the GSR-205 Ibanez. It's a great bass. Has a nice little, they call it the Fat 2 equalization in it, a little preamp in it. It's really nice. Usually in a bass this inexpensive, this is about $299, $95 plus tax. Bought now. I think it was a little cheaper when I bought it, but it's for that range and what it can do with a little preamp, and I mean, this would cost much more. Probably could cost much more, but it's got nice hardware and the body style and the neck. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're great, but they're maybe made a little less with the care. Some of the more higher Ibanez's are, but pretty much the heck with that. I mean, this can be picked up by, it's inexpensive enough to be picked up by the beginner or the novice, and sounding good enough to be played by the professional. Great bass. There is, of course, a 4-string version of this called the 200. This is the 205, as I've said again. And nice, inexpensive but effective hardware. These pickups here, these are jazz-style pickups, humbuckers. I mean, absolutely no noise. Really can't hear it. And another plus has to be the weight. This might be 8.5 pounds at the most. This thing is like, you just forget about it. You can stand or dance around on stage with this bass and play it hour more, and probably wouldn't get too fatigued because it really does not weigh you down. It's a great bass. Right quickly, a little history on Ibanez. Ibanez first started in Spain. There was a luthier back then in the 1800s that was pretty famous, from what I've read, by the name of, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Salvador Ibanez. Salvador Ibanez. That's Ibanez. That's how it's Ibanez, not Ibanez. Ibanez came later when, all of us Americans started pronouncing it Ibanez, but Salvador Ibanez, and Ibanez, whatever. And he was born 1854 and died 1920, and he was supposedly very good at making string instruments, guitars, mandolins, ukuleles, what have you. And after he died in 1920, his family business, his sons took over, And during their reigns as chief of Ibanez in Spain at the time, there was apparently a Spanish Civil War came about sometime in 1930, after 1936, or while 1936 was going on. And supposedly there was rioting in the streets, and unfortunately the Ibanez company was destroyed and burnt to the ground, which left the Ibanez companies in dire straits. Apparently a distribution company at the time they were dealing with from Japan, going by the name of Hashinogaki. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Eventually took over Ibanez and bought it, and bought the plans and everything, and shipped the rest of their stock over, and they started making using their plans the Ibanez guitars, and started selling them all over the world. And to this day, that's where Ibanez has been in Japan. They started becoming real popular with the United States around the 70s and 80s, and when us Americans started really getting into them, that's when the company really took off. So Ibanez has been a mainstay for several years, and it's hard to beat them. I know that for a time there was sentiment in the United States, buy American, but it's really hard when you got some imported stuff like this that is really good and really cost effective. So anyway, that's some of the things I just went over. That's what I like about this bass, and I invite you to try it at any of your music stores and pick it up. GSR series is great. Of course, Ibanez has several series. They're very, very bass deep. They got their share of guitars, of course, but they're very, very bass deep now. I mean, they got so many basses that you can get into, and the prices range anywhere from like $179 to their GSR. GSR is pretty much the lowest series, and you get higher and higher and higher and higher up into the. But hey, man, for a beginner or professional, this thing is it. I challenge anybody to try one of these. These things are nice. These are the GSR series, and that's apparent from what I have here. These over 10,000 hits, 10,800 hits that I've got on this particular video. The video is an Ibanez GSR-200 and the GSR-205 maxproud review. Check it out. Give me more hits. I appreciate it. And yeah. Beautiful. I mean, ooh, man, this is nice bass. And yeah, go to your local music store, your local guitar center or what have you, mom and pop store, and check out the Ibanez GSR-205 or 204 or 206. They have a 6-string version. It's $299.95. And same configuration, same preamp, same humbucking pickups. So this is the Ibanez GSR Revisited. I hope you enjoyed it. I thank you so much, Earl, here on the Max Proud channel for my first 10,000 views. Thank you very much. We'll see you again.